So I'm basically going to be explaining why, and how to fix Facebook problems, but also why you're not profitable at the moment and how you can fix this issue. So the problem with Facebook's ads, right? A lot of the time you'll see extremely high CPMs, especially if your account's not warmed up. You'll also see low engagement on ads. You'll see just low purchase, a very low ROAS. You'll see a very high cost per click. All these problems are indications of problems, like very big problems in the ad account, right? So these are things that need to be resolved. Otherwise, we can't be profitable. Now, a lot of the problem, you get stuck in very high CPM auctions, okay? Especially for those new accounts, like I was just saying, you see it stuck at that 60, 50, $40 CPM just to show it to 1,000 people, which is very, very, very expensive. And for a lot of products, that's just not feasible, especially in the e-commerce dropshipping space. It's just not feasible to have ads like CPMs that high. Ideally, in AUD, we want our CPMs anywhere from $10 to $20, and there is a strategy behind how you can get these lower CPMs and still get the high quality traffic, right? That you want, because you want people that are going to make the conversions and have the ability to make the conversions, and these are the people we need to be getting at low CPMs. So solution one is always going to be probably the most important one, which is upgrading your ad creatives. Okay, you can't go into the market, especially on Facebook anymore, with these very, very low quality Facebook ads. Now it needs to be quality. A lot of the time, if you can, it needs to be your own content, meaning from a creator or whatever it may be. But even just fixing them up, understanding certain things about Facebook, right? Understanding certain things about marketing and how that kind of comes into play as well with everything. Now, if your graphic just looks like a very, very generic PSA, and you know, or uses overly simple graphics, Facebook's algorithm actually might lump it in with the other low budget, like unquality shit content that they've got floating around on the space, right? And there's lots of them. Don't think there's not a lot. There is a lot of people just running crap ads. Your ads need to be up there and feel very premium, very be very like urgency, have a lot of urgency in them. In the sense of, I'll come by now, we have a sale on, rah, rah, rah. Obviously, everyone runs that, but it needs to be done in a strategic way, a very luxury way, a very premium way. I'll say premium. Luxury isn't the right word, but premium for sure. So what you can do is with that to upgrade your creatives is make sure everything is high quality. Also, Facebook likes to prioritize photos, especially if it's something like a necklace, jewelry brand, whatever it may be, right? Um, or hat brand, dog brand. Facebook loves to see people are happy in the image. Now, Facebook actually, its algorithm can detect all this thing, what people are doing. It can tell whether you know you're hurting animals in it, because it has to detect for that. It can tell whether everything, whether you're smiling, what clothes you're wearing. It can tell whether it's sunny. Now, Facebook loves outdoor creatives. Okay, they love it. They always seem to just perform better. They also love creatives with people smiling in it and perceived to be having a good time. And they also love creatives that don't look like ads. And now that aligns with human psychology as well. A lot of people do not like ads anymore. Like, just in general, nobody likes ads. So if you're on Facebook and think some stuff like this, right? You need to make sure your ad feels like it's a post from a friend. Now, you've probably heard this before, but it's very, very true. So hopefully that you can upgrade your creatives, taking that into mind and now understanding this information. So one thing I really, really like to do is I like to always lower CPMs, like we spoke about before. Now, the way CPMs are done is by engagement. I believe it's by engagement times something equals CPM. I'm not exactly sure what the metric is, right? But Facebook loves to post and promote ads, right? That people like. It wants people, it like Facebook's goal at the end of the day is to keep people on their platform for as long as possible. Okay? They can't do that if they're just pumping you full of fucking shitty ads after shitty ad after shitty ad. It needs to be actually decent content that you would watch anyways. So you have to appease the platform and the algorithm and give it what it wants. You have to make decent ads so then it gives you low CPMs in return for that. Now, there are ways you can kind of push the barrier, like you can kind of bend it to your will a little bit, okay? Now, the way you would do this is you set up traffic or engagement to the posts that you're running. Now, you want to make sure that this is a post that's already doing well. This is very key. So you want to make sure if you set up a conversion sales campaign, right? You would then run the product. You figure out the product's winning. Cool. But this is very profitable. Facebook's already liking it. You can see engagement, all that is above average. So you'd be like, great. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run traffic, some engagement, get some comments, get some likes, get some views on it, get the shares. Okay. So if you're pumping this traffic and engagement to this sales conversion ad that's already working under the same post ID, okay, then obviously Facebook's more like, wow, people are really seeing this ad and they really, really like this ad. 90% of the interactions with this ad is really positive. So what we'll do in return to help this advertiser is we'll lower CPM so we can show it to more people because it seems to be keeping people on our platform. So you've got to take that into consideration. Hopefully that clears up that thing, right? That thing on Facebook. And that's how they really work out CPMs. Every time I have a winner and I run engagement to a post, I'll see CPMs drop by 50% more, 180%. Like you'll see a dramatic decrease. Very, very dramatic. Now, if you're not already using video ads on Facebook, you're missing out. Okay, it is time to start. It was time to start yesterday. Now, video on everything is basically king. Now, you will find statics and things like that that win. That's always going to be the case. You'll always find statics that win, but video is very key. You can tell a story with videos. So some things to keep in mind when you are making videos is the way people's brains work now. It needs to be short, quick, fast, like just boom, 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 but it needs to come together in a nice way, very engaging way. Okay, obviously with the first 3 seconds to 5 seconds of the video being very, very engaging, because you'll find a lot of drop off after about the first 3 to 5 seconds, and that's obviously, I believe that's because of TikTok and how people's brains are working around, social media and stuff like that. Now it needs to be very, very fast. So we need to play into that a little bit, okay? So we need to keep everything very, very short and sweet. The whole video, I would have it no longer than 30 to 1 minute, 30 seconds to a minute. Okay, the first 3 seconds needs to make sure the message that hits very hard, like it needs to reach out to a certain type of person, okay? And then basically the rest of it is just a quick demo of the product, eye-catching animations, etc. It needs to be a very powerful clip. You can use text overlays. People do like text overlays on videos, but your sound should be very crispy. Message should be very crystal clear, even if it is a silent video. That what you're trying to sell, what you're trying to do, should be very crystal clear, just by either the video or the text and audio or both. So yeah, that's kind of how you make the ad content. Now, another solution to escape this ad cycle hell, right? This non-profit ad cycle hell is master the bidding strategy. Now, auto bids, bid caps, all this kind of stuff, cost caps, they can be applicable. I don't personally use them in my strategy, okay? But I know they work for a lot of people. With manual bidding, you can get very low CPMs straight off rip. I'm not too sure about why bid and value, all that. Like I said, I don't play around with them personally, but it can be something that works really, really well. I've seen them work really, really well for other brands, and it focuses just purely on conversion. It's just conversion machine. The way I know that people do it is they run one campaign for one product. They'll run 5 or 6 ad sets, and they'll run it at a $5 different price point per thing, and they'll see where it's going to get sales, and then from that point they can figure out what's profitable, what's not, how low they can have their bids, etc. So that might be something that you can look into if you are stuck in this kind of ad cycle. Now, for myself and brands that I've managed, there was a brand very recently that I helped, and what we did was we iterated content. We made sure we're very ad focused, okay? So we made sure all the ads were very good. We're constantly testing headlines. We're constantly testing primary text. We're constantly testing offers, landers, and we're constantly testing, just the ads in general, okay? Now for us, for this brand, right, we scaled once every 2 days at 20%. And last year we were able to accumulate them an extra 1.5 million in revenue over a 3-month period. And that's in USD. So obviously it's very, very powerful. We ran a 2.61 ROAS all month. I've got the stats up behind me. but I can't bring it up while I'm not going to share my screen at the moment with that. But these are the results you're able to get by just fixing these small things. Okay, now that brand I just mentioned, they weren't doing any profit. Actually, he thought the products he was running and his website and everything that was dying before we did over 1.5 million in revenue. All we did was we doubled down on the creatives that were working, and then we iterated other creatives off that. Okay, we figured out, okay, this video creative is working, let's make other videos creatives very, very similar, and let's double down on the things that are working and fuck off the things basically that aren't working. And that's how we were able to scale and get out of that ad cycle of hell. Okay, now with the scale on that, like I said, we scaled up 20% every 2 to 3 days, sometimes even more. We were very profitable, so we didn't mind seeing a bigger ROAS drop, so we're able to scale a little bit faster. But that's just how you would scale. With Facebook, you've got a cluster of people, okay? So imagine Facebook as the circle, and there's audiences around it that are other circles, okay? What Facebook does here is it grabs from these audiences, and when you find a winning cluster of people, right, it then sticks to that audience. You get good data through the pixel. The problem being, right, if you scale too fast, it'll grab from, say, this is a good cluster of people up here from the main circle, right? Hopefully that gives you a good visual representation. But you've got main cluster, you've got a good cluster that's found of profitable people. If you scale too fast, what it will do is it will just start grabbing from random clusters of people that aren't necessarily in your target audience. So it can fill the demand by budget being made. So this is why you need to scale slower, so then it can grab people closer to your audience over a slower period of time. This is why we want to scale by 20-30% every 2 to 3 days on Facebook, opposed to 500, 5,000 increase over, every day. For whatever reason you would do that, but I've seen crazy things. Anyways, hopefully that helps you break out of your Facebook profit cycle, non-profit cycle, and helps you get more serious results. Now, hopefully that basically will explain how you get lower CPMs, how you'll fix your ads, how to create video ads. It'll give you a very decent idea of how we do things and how I've done things for other people to scale them to multi 7 figs. Okay, so it's very, very ad based. I would keep, honestly, if there's one piece of advice I could give you, it's keep everything very, very broad on Facebook now, and then just go very ad based. The targeting's almost all at the ad based level now. There's no bottom of funnel on Facebook really anymore. It's all ad based targeting. So keeping that in mind, right? Find out who your ICP is, right? Know your ICP so well that when you're crafting your ads, you can reach out directly to that person and they know. Like Facebook will know as you find a cluster of people that are your ICP, right? That fit into your ads that you're running right now. Well, then like you'll be just more profitable, so much more profitable by just doing it that way, opposed to trying to find some strategy of account management or like structure on Facebook. Don't do all that. Just keep everything broad and then find the messaging, targeting, bright ads that work for your brand. Mess around with landers and obviously that everything on that side. But I'm not talking Shopify stuff right now. I'm only talking Facebook stuff. Just do the messaging on the ad level, reiterate things that are working, and yeah, pretty much go for that. Now, my team and I obviously run this from e-commerce brands. We only work with e-commerce brands, and we do this for these brands all the time. We scaled multiple brands from 4 figures to 7 figures, 5 figures to 7 figures, 6 figures to 7 figures. We've yet to work with anyone doing multi 8 figures or 8 figures yet. But in the future, that's something that we will be looking to do for brands. But that's pretty much how we do all our targeting. Obviously, it can be a little bit more in depth, but we don't have an extreme amount of time on the video. So if you do need help with your e-commerce brand, or it is something that you're looking to going to look into, or you need some consulting, just let me know. Just send me a message, either here or on Instagram. And